Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. Today we're sketching the back view of our runway croquis. In the last video, we sketched out the front view, and today we're going to use that sketch to create the back view. Make sure you have that sketch, your sketchbook, a pencil, a pen, and an eraser. And let's get started. So what we'll be doing is taking this original sketch of our front view that we created and retracing it, making a few necessary tweaks here and there to get our back view. I'm going to show you how to sketch smarter, not harder. So this whole process is going to be super easy. So the first thing I want you to do is flip your original sketch around to the back. So what this is going to do is create a mirror image for us to work with. You're going to place another sheet of paper on top of the flip view of that sketch, and then you're going to just trace along the outer edges. So no inner detail, you're just only going to trace those outer lines of the body, starting from the top of the head and then working your way down. Before we really get into the nitty-gritty of the sketch, since it's the new year, I'm really curious to know, is there a certain skill or technique that you really want to see and you really want to try out? Or do you want to learn more about color pencils or markers or watercolor? Anything in specific that you might have never tried before, but you want to dabble in since it's 2025. Just let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to get your feedback. Now, once you've traced all the outer edges of your sketch, you'll need to start at the crotch and then draw that line to trace the legs as well. Just like everything else, the shape is still going to stay the same, but the details are going to change up. Once you got that traced off, here's where we get into the nitty gritty. Now the back style lines are pretty much the same, but they are switching up too. So I'm going to challenge you on this next bit. So we're going to freehand it, but I'm still going to have that back sketch up as a guide so that way you can see exactly how I changed this. I'll also bring it back up on the light pad and show you exactly how tracing it translates into the back view. That was a mouthful. So here we go. Starting where the head blends into the neck, you're going to make two vertical lines, two very short vertical lines, just to give the illusion of the back of the neck. Then starting at the neck, right where the shoulder slopes, you're going to draw a straight line. So instead of the scoop line for the front of the neck, for the back, it's just going to go straight across the shoulders. For the armholes, right where that shoulder starts to round off, you're going to draw a diagonal line connecting down to that point. That's going to be your armpit. So just bring that line all the way down on both sides. Next, you're going to bring a horizontal line across the smallest part of the waist. The hips don't lie, so for the bum, we're going to draw a U on each side of the leg. So we're going to start that U from that middle top of the line and then bring it all the way across, but leaving about a 1/4 inch of space away from the outer edge. So when you're done, it's going to look like a very curvy W. Then on that left leg where the hips start to curve out, you're going to bring a curved diagonal line down into the edge of your W. Repeat it on the right leg, but curve the line in the opposite direction. On the top half of the torso, starting at the middle of the shoulder line, we're going to bring a vertical line down and connect it with the waistline. Then repeat it on the other side. And then we're going to bring another vertical line from the center of the neckline all the way down to the waistline. And now from the bottom half of the torso, we're going to bring that center line all the way down and connect it to the top of your W point. Then you're going to extend those right and left vertical lines down and curve them back into your underwear line. Awesome. Now you've got your back style lines drawn. So we're going to move on to the joints now, starting with the elbows. So in the middle of each of your arms, you're going to draw a small U, one on each side, just like that. The backs of the knees are even easier. So for those, we're just going to make 2 letter H's, and that horizontal line of the H is just going to be long. And when it comes to positioning them, you're just going to keep the H's in between those 2 pointed edges. To create the back of the heel, we're going to make a very wide curvy U and then drop down 2 vertical lines to create a hollow Y, and just extend it a little bit past that horizontal line that you've got for the bottom of the heel. Then above that U at the top of the hill, you're going to curve it around to make a circle. And then you're going to put 2 vertical parallel lines right above it to give you the back of the ankle. Lastly, let's get into the hair. So we're going to make some sweeping lines down from the top of the head to the shoulders. And then we're going to bring those lines across and sweep them around to the other shoulder and bring it down from the other side. You can add a few more lines coming from the top of the head down to give it some more volume. Now, when you're drawing the back of the hair for the actual sketch, you are going to fill this in with color. Now, of course, you want to erase out the head, just depending on what hairstyle you draw. So right now, I'm just giving you a guide for the back of the hair. Now, I'm going to show you a second style. So I'm just going to erase the hair just to show you what it looks like drawing an updo. So we're going to draw an updo with a messy bun. And I promise you, you're not going to believe how easy this is. Between those parallel lines that we drew earlier on the back of the neck, we're going to make some more vertical and short sweeping lines. This is going to make it look like the hair coming out from the nape of the neck. And then we're going to make some lines on the outer circle of the head. And then at the very top, we're going to create a smaller circle using a spiral motion. And that spiral motion is going to help you with creating the individual hair strands, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can draw a few straighter lines branching out of it for flyaways. And then we'll go back down and fill it in with longer vertical lines along the back of the head. And just remember to keep your lines light. And this step is optional, but if you like, you can go ahead and trace out your template and pen. Consider yourself officially a legendary super sketcher, because you, my dear, have just finished your back runway view croquis, but we're not done yet. So as I promised earlier, we're going to run this back one more time. So I'm going to show you how to retrace it again, but this time I'm going to have the original sketch up under it, just so that way you can see in real time how those changes we make to the front view sketch really translates and transforms into the back view. And don't worry, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Everything that I just showed to you is still the same, but I'm just going to really explain why I did it this way initially. So I wanted you to understand what we were doing. Now this way you can see just how it evolves if you're just tracing it directly from your original sketch. Now, this method is incredibly helpful because it saves you time and ensures the accuracy in your proportions, because by tracing it over, you don't have to start from scratch. You just adjust the details to reflect the back of the body. For example, when I showed you how to change the inner portions of the sketch, like the back of the head, the shoulders, and the joints, when tracing, you just want to pay close attention to how those curves from the body shift from the front to the back. And then this process is really useful also for maintaining consistent poses when creating fashion illustrations. It also makes it easier just to visualize how our garment will look from all angles, which is key when designing collections or storyboards. If you're sketching along with me, you know I never want you to focus on perfection. If this is your first time here and watching a sketch tutorial from me, something I always say is that eraser is going to be your best friend. And these tracing methods really help you to focus more on understanding, setting up your anatomy on your sketch, and just really allowing you just to flow through with your pose, and rather than getting every detail right the first time, because you can always go back and refine your sketch after completing the basic framework. And that's what the purpose of these videos are. If you're a total newbie, you're in luck. This is your judgment-free sketch zone. And if this video was helpful, then please let me know in the comments. Did you sketch along with me, or do you plan on trying this method later? If you made it this far in the video, you are all the way awesome. So why not stick around? Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you'll never miss out on the sketching or the sewing shenanigans. If you enjoyed this video and you want to brush up a little bit more on your sketch skills, then watch this one next. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, y'all, keep sketching, keep sewing, and keep the momentum going. Take care.